Hello. In this video we're going to be looking for the line of best fit with the TI-84 Plus Silver Edition calculator. I have some data here, and this data represents the length in inches of a baby alligator from September to April. September was the initial month when it was born, and then we measured it every month until April. So we used 0 for September, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for the month of April. So if I want to find the line of best fit that models the length of this baby alligator, I'm first going to go to my calculator. I'm going to put the information into the calculator. So I'm going to hit the stat key, which is right here, the stat key, and there are three things here. It says edit, calculate, and tests. We're going to edit our data first. Notice that edit is highlighted, so I'm going to hit enter. List 1 and list 2. I'm going to put my X's in list 1 and my Y's in list 2. I can clear a list that's already here by arrowing up to list 1, hit enter, and then arrow back down. Not enter, I'm sorry. Hit clear, arrow back down, and it will clear it for us. Arrow over to list 2, up into list 2. Hit clear, and then arrow back down, and it will clear the list for us. Now I'm going to put my data into the list. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Notice I hit enter every time I put in some data. And then I'm going to go to list 2 and put in 22, 22.5, 23.5, 25, 26, 27.5, 28.5, and 29.5. I hit enter every time. I'm going to go back to the top of my list now and double check my data. I'm going to double check it with this list. So 0, 22, 1, 22.5, 2, 23.5, 3, 25, 4, 26, 5, 27.5, 6, 28.5, 7, 29.5. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the calculator to take out a sheet of graph paper, basically. So I'm going to go to second stat plot. Notice that my stat plot is turned off. Hit enter again, and it will turn on the stat plot for us. If I arrow down, I'm looking here at the type of graph. We want to use this first one, which is a scatter plot. List 1 is my X's, list 2 is my Y's, and then I can use any of these three markings I want. I prefer the first one. It shows up better for me. To get out of here, I can do second quit. The next thing that I want to do is turn on the diagnostics. The diagnostics is the function that gives me my correlation coefficient and my coefficient of determination. So I'm going to hit second 0. This gives me my catalog, second 0. This is in alphabetical order, all the things that the calculator will do for you. If you notice in the top corner here, I have an A. That means the alpha key is engaged. So when I hit X to the -1 right here, the little green D that's above it, this will scroll down to the D's, and I can then scroll from there to find diagnostic on. Find the diagnostic on, hit enter once, hit enter twice until it says done. When it says done, you know your diagnostics are on. Now I can go in and set my window for my data. Okay, I want to go to window. This is going to set up my graph paper so that I can see all of my data points here. The smallest data point for my X's is a 0, so I want to change this to probably like -1. I'm going to look at my highest X value, that's 7, so I might leave it at 10. The X scale says it's going to count these by 1s, which is perfectly fine for me. My Y minimum, smallest Y is 22, so I'm going to make this about 20, a little bit smaller than this one. My highest Y value is 29.5, so I'm going to make this about 30. The Y scale, I'm happy to count these by 1s as well. And then I can hit graph and see my points. Another thing that you can do to make sure you've set your window correctly, if you set your window by hand, is count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to make sure you can see all of your points. Another way that you can set your window is to use your zoom key. If you use zoom and go down to zoom number 9, This is your Zoom Stat key, and it will automatically set your window for any set of data that you have. So if we do Zoom Stat, it'll set my window. I can go back to window and see that it changed my window a little bit from what I had manually set it for so that all the data points would fit. So Zoom 9 is an easy way for you to set the window and know that you will be able to see all your data points. The next thing I'm going to do is find the line of best fit. We're going to have the calculator calculate that line of best fit for us for this data. So we're going to go back to the Stat key. This time we're going to arrow over to Calculate, and we're going to arrow down to Linear Regression. Number 4 is the line of best fit, linear regression. Number 5 is the quadratic regression. Number 6 is cubic regression. 7 is quartic. 8 is another linear regression. 9 is the natural logarithmic regression. 0 is the exponential regression. A is power regression. B is logistic regression. And C is sinusoidal regression. We'll be using those a little bit later in this course. We're going to right now just go back to the linear regression because this data is pretty linear, and we're going to calculate the linear regression for this data. Highlight number 4 and hit enter. This menu tells me that my X's are in list 1, my Y's are in list 2. That's correct, so I'm just hitting enter. Frequency list for this type of graph, I don't need a frequency. Store the regression equation. I do want it to store it for me so I can see its graph. So at this point, I'm going to hit vars, which stands for variables. We're going to go to Y variables, hit number 1 for function. It's already highlighted, so I can just hit enter. We want to store this function in Y1, so we're going to hit enter. Now it's telling me that it's going to store my regression equation in Y1. I'm going to enter down to calculate and enter, and I'll have a calculation. This is my line of best fit. I'm going to write it over here on my paper. F of x, or y, is equal to, and I'm going to round to the hundredths place, a is 1.136, so I'm going to round that to 1.14, x plus b, which is 21.58. Okay, there's my line of best fit. F of x equals 1.14x plus 21.58. And when I hit graph, because it stored it for me, there's my line of best fit. You can see that these points are all pretty close. It goes through this one and that one pretty exactly. The others are pretty close to the line. Second quit will take me back to my home screen, and let me bring this back up by doing second enter. The correlation coefficient is 0.996. That's very close to 1, which tells me that this is a strong positive correlation. The R squared is the coefficient of determination, and 0.99 tells me that the line of best fit, that all the points on the line of best fit cluster closely around that line. The closer this is to 1, the more closely clustered the points are. The closer the correlation coefficient is to 1, the stronger the positive fit. If the correlation coefficient is close to -1, it's a strong negative fit. Anything that's higher than 0.8 is considered a strong fit. All right, I hope this has helped you to know how to find the line of best fit with your TI-84 Plus Silver Edition calculator.